If you're watching this on YouTube, I just want to let you know that if you'd prefer to listen to this episode as a podcast, you can click the link down in the description, which will take you to our Spotify, where we will be uploading all of our longer review type videos as podcasts. And if you'd rather keep watching the longer videos here on the channel, that is fine too, because in addition to being on the Spotify, they will continue to be posted on this YouTube channel.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Plocast, coming at you with a Bad Batch Season 1, Episode 8, Reunion, full in-depth review.
Oh yeah.
Huge episode. Lots of stuff happened, more returning characters, but we're going to get into all of it
Lots of fun.
right now. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, all that big stuff we will get to, but there's other littler? I don't think
Littler.
smaller things that we should probably get out of the way first.
Yes.
Just wanted to talk about. We had a lot of little moments between the members of the Bad Batch. I'm at this point, I think it's fair to clump Omega in with that instead of her own category.
Yes, I agree.
But like, we just more examples of her slowly, learning abilities and doing things. The bomb training. Well, eventually it was all for a joke with Wrecker like having a smoke bomb, but she's still like learning things. She's still training. She's got all her gear. She's getting a lot better with that bow, which we
As
saw.
we see, yeah.
Wow. I love the way that thing sounds and the way it gears up. Of course, Wrecker with the bombs.
Yeah.
Man, I just think that like her slowly developing like this is like being done really well. Like I feel like it makes sense that for her progression, and she is a clone at the end of the day, so we don't know exactly what sort of things are different about her, but she seems to be taking well to the like training or learning and just being around this group in general.
Yeah, I really like the bomb in general because like me and you both were like, wait, is that actually a live thermal detonator? But just the fact that like Wrecker's kind of loose cannon, and like if it was a real like thermal detonator, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it is Wrecker, so
exactly. But no, but to see Omega just like learning and everything, because like she's developing her skills like with thermal detonators and the bow and everything, but she's also becoming like part of the family too. And they're building both of those things up slowly, which makes it ultimately more rewarding. So I really like the way they're going with that.
yeah. And I hope we see more of that, like her getting,
Absolutely.
more. Maybe they start building some armor or something. She gets like a helmet or something. That would be really cool. At least
I would
like a
love to
helmet.
see her in her own Bad Batch armor.
Yeah, she already has it designed fully as she
Oh
wants
yeah.
it to look. So there would be
Yup.
that. It'd be really cool. Speaking of the batch here, we got a little not conflict, but sort of like difference in
Yeah.
like
The
thought process.
dialogue. Yeah.
They were talking to Hunter, specifically Hunter and Echo were on two opposite ends of what they should be doing. Hunter said we need to pay off Sid. That should be our main thing. So we're gonna stay here. We're gonna like scrap and salvage, get the data, get the weapons, sell it back to her, and then she'll owe us. While Echo, on the other hand, thinks they should have just left with Rex. They should get out of there, because they're soldiers. They're not meant to be, like scrapping around in the junk.
Yep.
I think that's interesting, and it also fits because at the end of the day, Echo is still a regular clone. He doesn't have his chip, and he's obviously like Wat Tambor did a lot of messed up stuff to him, but he's still a regular clone. So that's still probably programmed, and not programmed as in chip wise, just like programmed as in the way he thinks to just be a soldier, and that's what they should be trying to do. While Hunter's looking at it more objectively, like, okay, what's the best scenario for the team right now? And I thought that was really cool.
I think that also stems from how much a leader Hunter is. Again, he's like, oh, I gotta like, our group needs to survive. We need to do what's best for us, type of thing. Where Echo is just like, oh no, we're soldiers. Let's go fight for something. Let's go do something. But I like seeing like you said, it wasn't really conflict, but I do like seeing that there's a discrepancy within the group, because that also like tells you like they really don't know what they're doing. Like they're just trying to do what they think is best. They're really just trying to find out what to do. And so to see like the different ideas within the group is cool. And I think it's because like really that conversation could only be between Echo and Hunter.
Yeah,
I couldn't see Tech or Wrecker saying something like that.
yeah, they would
um,
just kind of go with it.
yeah, but it was cool to see.
Yeah. Um, another thing that this does is it shows us them trying to learn how to survive without the backing of the Republic. They say it a
Mhm.
bunch of times, like we don't have Republic credits to rely on. Not everything is not paid for anymore. We don't have just rations given to us. They're essentially learning how to be on their own for the first time, and it's kind of cool because a lot of them are, they don't know what to do in this situation. Like we just talked about, there's differences in where they should go, what they should be doing, because they've never experienced anything like this before. Like Echo says, they've been soldiers. Um, so there's always that too. I always like when they have little bits like that, like oh yeah, we can't rely on the Republic for X anymore. Like
Yeah,
we got to do our own thing.
yeah, because that's definitely like in a real world, that's what exactly would be going on inside their heads. So just to see them talking about it and just hashing it out is cool.
Yeah. They just watching them talk is just really fun. The banter that they have back and forth is really great. Like they're in this situation in the engine, and they're, we got to get out of here. And Tech Stop is like, oh, these are actually very interesting. This metal is capable of resisting. And like, right, shut up, nobody cares. He shoves him over. It's like
Yep.
the interplay back and forth. Like Wrecker gets knocked down. He's like, I was just waiting to make my move. They're just little kind of quippy, MCU-ish style little
Yeah. Yep.
jokes and dits. Also, like cooler things. Well, not cooler. Different things, I guess, is we see their knowledge of the clones and their war tactics coming out a little bit. Like Echo knew the type of sweeping pattern that they would follow, and then he knew how to lead them to avoid it. Tech obviously knows a lot about the Venator. They all probably did. They had the idea for the cannons. So seeing moments that continue to show us how like proficient they are, and not even just extra, but just remind us that they know what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
soldiers. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is always cool.
I want to talk about that too because I think it's like such a cool thing to see clones against clones, or at least Echo against the Bad Batch, because again they know their tactics. Like Tech said, like you said, yeah, they'll sweep apps to the front or whatever,
Yeah.
and so they go a different way, and then like right away, Crosshair knows Echo's jamming their frequencies and listening in. So
Yeah.
then he says, "Oh, everyone go to the hangar," to make them not go to the hangar, and then they cash. Like it's so cool. It's like 3D chess almost. Like
Yeah.
it's awesome to see. And then the ultimate way, like they come out of it, just shows you how good Clone Force 99 is. Like I guarantee no one else has ever blown the the engine of a Venator off to slide out and escape from like that's like
From
thinking
inside
on
the
your
engine, by the way.
yeah, like that's thinking on your feet like no one else
Yeah.
could. And that's what it takes to like escape Crosshair and his crew, which is
Yeah.
really cool. I'm sure we're gonna get more scenes and more like confrontations like this going forward, and I'm amped about it.
Yeah. Can be very interesting. And that just goes like a lot of that just comes out while they're talking normally too. And
Yeah.
I thought the egress bit was funny. This is the egress, right? And then
I don't even know what that means.
yeah, and then that's mentioned again later when Echo says we're gonna escape through the engine, and Tech's like, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. But it just show that also Echo didn't really even get it either.
Yeah.
Um, but just the banter and their knowledge is really fun. One thing that I kind of think would one moment that I thought anyway was a little bit lacking, mostly due to what I wanted to see, not really due to the episode. When Omega goes up to the bridge to talk to Tech, uh, I thought we could have had like a little moment there, where Omega, she's looking out, she asks him about the war. He gives his straight laced, Tech regular response, usual Tech. But I thought we could add maybe a little moment there where she kind of breaks him. Not break as in like make him laugh or cry or something, but just she, says something to him or asks him a question that really makes him stop and think for once. Like not technically and literally, because he was like it was had battles on fronts, blah blah blah. But I thought it would have been cool if we had a little moment there where she kind of like gets not through to him because he's not like blocked off or anything, but like she's able to get more out of him than his just usual. Like if he actually went into deep, like you could see clearly like he was upset about something or just like he felt some kind of little bit of emotion about the war. And I know that he's not really programmed to be that way, which is why I think like a little hint of him maybe sort of starting to come out a little bit more or something like that. But and I mean, it was funny when he did say the same thing again. He's like, I just told you. But just the vibe of the scene when she walked up, it was just the two of them. They were alone in the bridge of the ship from the war that they've been fighting since they were alive. And I thought maybe there was going to be like a little moment there. But that's more just me wanting stuff. Um, but
Dude, absolutely. Like I was about to say the same exact thing. Because like cinematically, that's the perfect alley-oop question for Tech to dunk it home and just break out of his shell. Like I really because like what is the war like? Oh my goodness, like that should open the floodgates. Like
yeah,
that's the best way. Like that was the way we were gonna have what we want to have happen. And he still remains, the techno, oh, war on many fronts and we deploy
yeah,
like no, that's not what she
yeah,
was asking. But yeah, like we both said it before, we want to see him grow as a character, but he's not. And that was the perfect opportunity for him to do so, and still he's
yeah,
not. It was really weird. They played it for laughs, like you said, like, oh, I just told you, which okay, it got me to laugh. But I would much rather have that little, even if it's a tiny little bit, where he could just take a longer pause just to show he's thinking about it and then give the joke line. Sure, I would have preferred that just to show that, yes, he's more than just
yeah,
a smart, quippy, says literal things guy. Like,
yeah,
and that was the perfect time to do it. It was just him and Omega, and we've seen Omega with the different characters just having a soft moment. I mean, we've seen Wrecker multiple times, Hunter multiple times. We've seen Crosshair, episode 1. I think Echo. Oh yeah, Echo teaching her with the bow and arrow. Like we've had it all, but Tech. So now I'm thinking maybe like kind of like how Wrecker and his head, how they played on that for episode after
yeah.
episode. Maybe they're gonna do the same thing with Tech, as in another perfect alley oop question where it should really be like a slam dunk answer, but they kind of play it for laughs every time until eventually he's like, "Oh man, like I'm
He's
glad you asked that," and like
Yeah,
he just
he gets
finally
mad one
spills the
time
beans.
and he just
Some
snaps,
sort of
starts yelling.
emotion,
Yeah,
yeah. Even if he yells at Omega, like gets frustrated at her, I'm for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Anything but just okay, yeah.
yeah.
Whatever he
And
said. Like, I don't know. I thought
uh,
that was a perfect time. I'm glad you brought it up too, because we both previously said we want to see Tech come out of his shell.
yeah,
So
and we know that's not him. Like, but that's why that would be such a good scene or moment because we know what he's like normally. Um,
yeah, exactly.
even and you brought up a good word, like warm. I think you said it's not like he's kind of cold now, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's obviously it's broken up with humor, and then you laugh about it, and then you forget and you move on. But for the most part, he's really like cold. Like when something, even when something bad's going down, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the Empire. Okay, hey guys, we got a problem." Or he's just really just like,
Exactly.
and even this one, I would have been fine if he said that line the first time. He says it was a battle on certain fronts, and then she asks him again,
And
and like
then
maybe he sighs, and then instead of giving like an analytical cold response, he says like a one. Maybe he's got like a little one-liner, like he's like it was terrible or something like that, where you can see him like
yeah.
look around, sigh, or just something to show that there's more in him buried down.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we've been getting a lot of more moments with a lot of the other members, especially Hunter and Wrecker and all that. Echo's had more stuff in the past in the Clone Wars, which is I
Yep.
feel like probably why they're going less on him because there's already some stuff of him in the past, and
True, true.
these are newer characters. So, but like he's been the one that is the outlier. Like if I mean before I say I'm not saying I would like him to die. I'm not saying I would be happy if I'm not saying I'd be
Ah.
happy. I don't want it to
Ah.
happen. Please don't. But
No.
if one of them was to die, I mean, Tech would be the one that would
Ooh.
give me the least of a reaction. I would still be sad and it would suck, and I really would rather it not happen. But I'm just saying, out of all the ones we have so far, if he were to die, that's the death that would produce less of a reaction out of the group.
But you know what? If they took the time in scenes like this to develop him more, guarantee you wouldn't be saying that.
Yes, I would not.
Guarantee.
I would not.
And that's the importance of scenes like this. Like they're literally in a clone graveyard. Like all those ships, all the memories from the war. It was oh my goodness. Again, I kept like it's the alley-oop question, dude. Like
Yeah, that's the
and
perfect
still.
PTSD triggering question. What was the war
Ex-
like? You just
Thank
think
you.
like,
He
oh,
should have
war,
had
you know?
non-plasma. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
But he did it.
they really
Like
we already know that they're willing to do that. They've leaned into the PTSD aspect with Rex in this show, as well as Rebels, which we'll eventually see.
yeah,
But like,
last episode
yeah,
with Rex. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's not like there's no they can't do that. That's something they could do. But that was just one scene. We took it. We kind of just made that like a whole segment. That wasn't planned
Yeah.
at all. That was just like a one line thing that I had. But whatever. It's fine. We talked about it, and I'm glad we did, because that was my biggest sort of like complaint, I guess, because this episode was pretty
Mhm.
good, and that scene was still good. But just that was my one little. That was the perfect opportunity. Him alone with Omega, who's like the newbie. That way he didn't have to do anything in front of the other guys, or just I don't know, something. Um, but moving on,
Yep.
because we could just
Yeah.
keep talking about that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Yes.
Our
Yes,
boy
please.
Crosshair was back in this episode with his elite squad of troopers. I love just how we bringing up Cold again, how cold he is in like the evil way.
Mm,
Admiral Redpart was like, "I don't care, kill him," and he's like, "Okay," just absolutely no feeling towards his old team, his old family,
yep.
essentially. I really like, because that's how he would be. There's not even a little bit of like regret or anything in there at all because of the
Yeah.
chip.
Dude, and then the scene when they finally confront they were on the cannon. What is it? The artillery bay? I
Yeah,
forget. With
artillery
the
deck,
cannons deck.
yeah,
But when Omega tries to reach out and she's like, "I know it's not you," and he like they have that brief moment and he's like, "Aim for her." Like, oh my goodness.
so
They
cold.
like that's perfectly like what they're showing his character is. That's in line because remember a couple episodes ago he was just killing innocents and his own men. Like
Yeah,
that should be no shock. But to me and like both of us really, we are like, oh my goodness, like that is cold hearted. He is far
yeah,
gone. Like,
and
whew.
I think I don't mean as in emotionless. I mean emotionless is in like a positive light. I feel like there's a lot of emotion driving him, but more of how could you do this to me? You all betrayed me. We were
Mm,
family.
yeah,
But mostly because of the chip and the like exaggerations or whatever that
they're
the team did for no reason.
manipulating his
Yeah,
emotions
yeah.
against him. Yeah.
But he's got like anger towards them. A lot of like the scenes when he was knocked down and he was like like casted up everywhere and like wraps around his face in a breathing mask. Once he hears where they are, he get out of my no. We go get them now. We need to get them. Um, if you've ever seen, if anybody has ever seen Avatar: Last Airbender, it really reminds me of Prince Zuko all the time, just trying to chase after Aang. But I don't think Paul's watched that
I
actually.
have not watched
That's one of the
Avatar: The Last
best
Airbender.
cartoons of all time. Okay, Dave Filoni did that show too. Um, but like just there is emotion there, but it's like anger towards them, because
Yes.
they didn't come with him. They're not
Yeah.
together anymore.
Yeah. But
But
no,
like you were, yeah,
I
okay,
definitely think that's like the chip at work though. Like
yeah,
finding the perfect emotions that they can use against him. Like, oh, he felt some anger and regret. Let's amplify that by 100 and make that his motivation for tracking them down.
yeah. Now go kill him. Okay, like he's just
And
like
then
sure.
just boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hit it a little bit earlier, and you said it a couple seconds ago, but the way the way like how more we're seeing on his side the abilities and the intelligence that he has. Like
Yes.
he knew that they were being jammed when they first landed. The soldiers were like we don't they're not like we can't detect them in there or something. And he's like you're being jammed, guys. Duh.
Yeah.
But like he knew they hacked into the comms, so he said take or get them to the hangar, and then he actually just went to the artillery deck because he knew they were going to change it up and go there.
Yep. Yep.
But like he essentially lured them there. Aim for the kid after Omega talks about their chat in the brig in episode 1. Just really good stuff from him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see more of that, and I think that's definitely gonna I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like with this confrontation, cat and mouse type of game between him and the Bad Batch.
Yeah. I from now on, I guess we'll see. He'll probably be a lot more beat up, banged up. He had some casts and splints on. The whole like right side of his face got charred and
Yeah.
burned. The left side had like some dings on it too. But like when they all got blown, when the half of the engine fell, and it just blasted him and his guys right in the face. They all flew away, hit the wall. He slammed into the
Yeah,
wall.
and he's
Helmet popped off.
cowering away.
Immediately, just like like putting his hands up because it's just torching his face. That was intense. But maybe that's gonna be there for. There's another Avatar thing. Prince Zuko has a big scar on his face. I'm sorry.
I do know about that. I do know about that.
Yeah, but
But
I thought it was really cool.
I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I want to give credit. It's online. I saw a theory online. But kind of like I don't know
Bombshell?
a lot of heroes that have scarred, burnt faces. So the theory online is that like this moment is showing that Echo or not Echo, sorry, Crosshair is like really far gone. Like this is his villain origin right
He's like
here.
Harvey Dent. Comes
So
Two-Face.
yes, like that's what I'm saying. Like Harvey Dent gets burnt up, Anakin Skywalker gets burnt up. Like you said, Prince Zuko gets burnt up. Like that's a villain trope. So I saw online that says maybe he gets his chip removed and he remains loyal to the Empire.
Ah.
I'm leaning towards that theory because like wanting to kill Omega, like killing a kid, like that's very like that's evil. So
Yeah.
I could see the chip pushing him that way. But honestly, I think like Crosshair might be evil now. I think maybe the chip pushed him off the edge.
Yeah.
And now that he's over the edge, there's no coming back no matter what. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Because like this episode I feel like is building up a lot for his character.
That's definitely a valid theory, and I'll talk about that in a second. But
Okay.
just want to say,
address
heroes with scars. We got Commander Wolf and Wrecker, who's literally in the show. His entire face is all scarred.
All right, that's all right. I'll give you that.
But still, That's
do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Because like you think about, we don't know exactly the process behind what they did to his chip. And it's very possible that them messing with him so much like that just fully overrided his brain. It's like, just it's in there now. It's just part of him, chip or not. Like it's like maybe like the chip like opened up sort of, and it just burst into his head. Not literally, not physically. But he's, because that would be crazy. Because like remember they let's imagine they capture him. They're holding him down. They're locking him down. They take the chip out. He comes out. He gets up and he still like wants to attack them. Something like that would be a big moment.
Huge moment.
If the show ends and like at the end they have to choose, like, do they want to? They're in a moment where they could kill Crosshair and they could take him out because or they could keep trying to bring him back even though it doesn't work. That could be a really interesting storyline in like the finale or something. So yeah, that's definitely I like the idea of that.
Because one thing now is too, like kind of sympathizing with Crosshair. Like the Bad Batch, they were kind of just traitors. They were disobeying orders, right? They were on the run. But now they've hurt him. They killed his men. They've burnt his face. They actively went against him. So this again could be like when he snaps out of, he's like, wait, no, these guys aren't my friends anymore. Like they burnt my face. Look at what you did to me.
Yeah.
Like type of thing. So I could like this is very compelling. I was really excited when I read it. I forgot what it was. I think it was a YouTube comment. But yeah, super cool. I think like because I love this episode so much about the cat and mouse stuff, I think because I mean I said it before, I wanted Crosshair to come back, but I'm almost like more excited for him to become evil, like be the main antagonist even further than like Order 66 against the Bad Batch.
Yeah, that would definitely be really interesting because that could be like 2/3 of the way through. You think he's back, he's safe. we got him back. We took the chip out, and then the last
And
chunk of the
then,
season is about him still being against them.
yeah,
Which would be crazy.
that would be awesome. But that's all
Yeah.
speculation.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
yeah.
So now we know that Paul works for Lucasfilm and has written the scripts for all the episodes and knows
Yeah,
exactly what's
I,
gonna
I
happen.
want to start bringing up crazy theories because you've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
way too on with that.
I have.
I need to get some
Yeah.
bombshells.
All right. There you go. There's your bombshell. We're sticking with it.
Yeah, timestamp
Um,
this now.
uh, but yeah, moving on to another bad guy, the man himself,
Oh,
Cad Biggity Bane.
yes, sir.
What a Chad.
Whew.
Oh my goodness.
Whew, whew.
First of all, Corey Burton, the wonderful voice actor reprising
Uh,
his role. He also played Dooku
great.
in Clone Wars. So great job by him. Seth Green. Seth Green came back to play Todo, which
Todo.
I did not expect. I
That was
feel like if they
wonderful.
didn't get Seth Green, they would just like not have Toto there, because like that voice is like it's just funny. I
Yeah.
love that it's Seth Green just for no reason. Here, Seth, you gotta come in. You gotta do like 3 lines about this robot that you played in like 2012.
He was probably amped. He's a
Yeah,
huge
I
Star
mean
Wars
it's Star
fan.
Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of actors, big name actors, would take anything,
Oh
like
yeah.
just one
Oh yeah.
line to be part of it. So um, that was a humongous surprise.
Yes.
And
Biggest
you
of
know,
the
I
episode.
yeah, it definitely makes sense. In my eyes, anyway. We fully know that the Kaminoans are the ones that are trying to find Omega. We speculated it before, but we pretty much knew that it was them. But now I guess it's like kind of confirmed because they're the ones that hired Fennec. Fennec failed. So you got to get somebody who's not just gonna mess it up. Cad Bane, from what we've seen of him, is just one of the best bounty hunters
Oh
ever.
yes. Yes.
Not even like as in cool character wise, which he is, but I mean just as being a bounty hunter, he's like just like he gets the job done every time. And well, except for the last time we saw him when he gets arrested after that whole Reiko Hardin arc. But I
Yeah.
mean that was Obi-Wan playing the long con on everybody. He fooled everyone, so I'm
Even
not really gonna
Anakin. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna put that on Bane. But Kaminoans are desperate at this point. They are going to lose one of their biggest sources of income, being the Empire. Supplying clones to the Republic was their main thing. I don't know if there's like land on Kamino because all we ever see is the ocean and then
Yeah.
giant cloning facilities, and that's it. I don't
Yeah.
think they really do anything else. So if they lose the dominant power in the galaxy, then that's a big blow to your income. I think they still do, like later on they do still clone some things for the Empire, but not like the main bulk of stormtroopers. So they need an Omega, which I guess she's like the clone template that they want to use, or they want to study her and analyze her to make a clone or something like that. But they're desperate, and when you're desperate like that, you want to get somebody that you know for sure will get the job done. And that's what Cad Bane did. He showed up, he wiped out a hangar full of clones while nobody was looking. He took down Hunter, and they just bop. All right, let's go. Like Fennec, it took a whole episode to chase him down, and she still didn't even get them.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
one little bomb here. Not it's a little bomb, like a little grenade, like a flashbang. Cad Bane
Small.
he had a new outfit, new bounty
Yes,
hunter
he did.
gear. Please give us a Black Series figure of that. That apparently is the same outfit that he was wearing in the animatic for the Cad Bane Boba Fett Clone Wars episode. That's the same gear he was wearing. Yeah,
No way.
same gear. That could have just been maybe a placeholder because it's not fully finished being animated. It's like just the models. Nothing's lit, nothing's filled in or anything. But that is the same gear, same outfit he was wearing. And we got a standoff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome.
Also, that
This
scene
is voiced
to
right away
me,
because it's a lot deeper and scratchier. Like he's he's maybe something
he's
else has
older
happened.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's scarred and beat up. He had like
Yeah.
cracks in his skin. Like he was a lot more beat up and aged. Which makes sense since the last time we see him is 2014 Clone Wars season 4,
Yeah.
I think. 4, yeah, 3 or 4. Okay, so right here we had a little bit of a glitch with the audio. There's like a couple minutes where it's just dead silent and you can't hear anything. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I think the things we were saying is that we think that this moment in the episode with Bane is sort of a stand-in in the Star Wars universe for the Cad Bane Boba Fett fight. Like, this is a sort of replacement for that, because it's unlikely that we're getting that. So him having the same gear, and it being a sort of standoff is like the replacement for the Boba Fett arc that we never actually got. I think that's what we were talking about. But yeah, sorry, just a little chunk audio there. Completely glitched out, and there was just no audio. I don't know if it was an arc or just one episode of the Clone Wars where it's like a whole bounty hunter thing. Cad Bane and a younger Boba Fett end up going at it with each other. They do a duel like we saw in this episode. They draw on each other. Boba Fett kills Bane, I believe. You see a shot of his hat floating as Bane's body's on the ground. And then we cut to Boba Fett's helmet, which has the dent in the helmet.
Famous dent.
And we learned that canonically, how he got the dent was getting shot by Cad Bane.
Yes.
If you didn't know.
I think although the episode never released, it's still canon that it is Cad Bane who made the dent.
It's canon in my heart, okay?
Yes, for sure. But I think even despite that, it still is the major canon.
God, I hope so. I just one episode, like, oh my god, that is the whatever. Sorry, I'm not gonna rant about it.
I do think though that this might be the stand-in, because realistically it would be hard to get that. You'd kind of just have to make it its own episode. Like, it would work in a Clone Wars extra season, but now it's Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work out. So I think this might be the closest we get.
Yeah, it's probably why he had the same armor too. Also, they already had it made, and then that's cheaper. That's a whole new asset that you don't have to make. And another, getting Boba Fett in here, while it would be awesome, and if we got that scene, it would be all forgiven. From an objective level, you're getting to the point where it's like way too many big name bounty hunters. You got Fennec, you got Cad Bane, and then Boba Fett, who's getting his own show. But like, at the same time, they could use that to hype up the Boba Fett show. But do you really need to hype up Boba Fett? It's Boba Fett. People that don't watch Star Wars know who Boba Fett is.
Oh,
so, But, I feel like at that point, it would be getting a little bit much. So I feel like this was the replacement we got for that.
I did want to talk more about the Kaminoans.
Okay.
You brought up a little bit, but I want to emphasize how much of like a neutral party they are, or really how concerned with just cloning they are. Because like, if you think about it, they provided the clones for the Republic, but they used a bounty hunter from the CIS, Jango Fett, and then immediately afterwards, Order 66, again we see them going behind Empire's back and stuff, and now they're using another bounty hunter from the CIS to go retrieve more clones again. Like, so they really do not care about the Empire. They didn't care about the Republic. They didn't care about the CIS. They cared about cloning and making that moolah. Again, it would make sense that they would say, "Oh, Cad Bane, I don't care that he's literally kidnapped children before, Jedi children, that he's worked with Dooku. Yeah, who cares? He's the best bounty hunter. We're getting him."
Yeah.
So they went with Fennec. They went with a relatively, like, I don't want to say not good, but I guess lesser known bounty hunter. Yeah, newer. Didn't work out. So then they said, all right, let's shell out. Let's get the real deal.
I believe Fennec is still working there for them too. They just want more. So as many as possible. I don't care who it is. The line exactly, I think, was like, as long as one of these bounty hunters gets the girl or something, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So I think that it makes perfect sense, again, because we did talk about returning characters. Watch that video if you haven't. But I think this is another example where it makes sense for him to come in. And really, it was just one scene where he came in. We already saw he knocked out clones. They didn't even show that, which I think is better. Just like show the aftermath and be like, yeah, he can do this. We don't even need to show it. You know it. Yeah. Then we have the standoff. Then he gets Omega and he's out. He didn't have a whole episode like Fennec because he's not a new character. He's established. We know who he is. We know what he can do. So there's no point in rehashing. Just get him in, let him do his job, get him out. And it's perfect.
He had his iconic hat. He had his pistols. He had his sidekick. He had his catchphrase. And then that was it. He did badass stuff, and then he was out.
Yep.
Sorry, little lady. Hello there, little lady.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Loved it. Loved it.
Great. Okay, so after all of that, I did just a couple more notes about less specific things about the episode in general that we usually talk about. while we're still close to the topic of Cad Bane, Todo, we were talking right before this about Todo,
Yes.
about how we were talking about how's he here? I thought he blew up in the temple thing, but I don't.
Yes.
It wasn't in an episode. I don't know where it was, but Anakin actually rebuilt Todo after the bombing, just because he likes tinkering with stuff. He built C-3PO, or he put him together at least.
Mhm.
Um, so he took the parts for Todo and he repaired him. I believe Toto like ran away after that. Like he just bounced and he went back to Bane. But that's how Toto is there, which is cool. Um, one thing for me anyway, I was really sad seeing just like all the venators like that. Like that's just a hard thing to see after watching, like seeing them all like in Clone Wars and in the movies. They're just flying around, full of just Jedi and clones and soldiers, and they're in battles and things going down. And now they're just rusty piles of scrap metal. It's really just sad.
Yes.
Damn. Another cool thing I saw Hunter while they were in the Venator, he had a little flashlight attachment on his pistol, DC-17. That was cool. And then he puts it on his hip at one point for the draw. Now, I thought, doesn't he just like tuck them in his back and then they just poof, they just disappear? Because he doesn't have holsters.
I was going to bring that up. As you know, me and Evan both are Black Series collectors.
Yes.
His Black Series does not have holsters, and you cannot put his DC-17 on his body unequipped. So for the draw, maybe he just buckles it to his belt or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird. But yeah, I'm not sure on that.
What that's I think all that does for me is it legitimizes the fact that he can store it on his hip. So I'm just gonna modify it and like put some sticky tack there or something. Like, oh yeah, well
Yeah.
it was in the episode. You're gonna say
Yeah,
you can't
we
put
had
it
the
there?
duel. Yeah,
But yeah, not even just on the figure in the show. Like whenever he's done with them, he just like tucks them behind his back,
and
and
it
then
just
they
kind
just
of,
disappear.
yeah,
So I was a little confusing. They probably were just like, oh well, for the draw, it's got to be on the hip. That's how like all westerns are. They're just
true.
standing there on the hip with
Very
their
true.
fingers wiggling, them just waiting. Pick it up,
Yep.
So that was odd, but it was cool. One thing you brought up earlier was the Commando HUD on Hunter when he
Yes,
wakes up,
yes.
and it's from his perspective. First of all, that HUD is awesome. Really throwing back to Republic Commandos. And I think Gregor in the droid episodes with Gregor in Clone Wars, I think there's a scene where he is from his visor too.
Mhm.
But that was really cool, and just the whole him waking up and having no clothes, got like, and everybody's yelling. Wrecker's like, "What? Where happened to Omega?" And we gotta get out of here. That all seems really intense because like it puts you in his perspective, like in his shoes. If you're him, you wake up, you're like, "What the hell's happening? I got shot. Omega's gone. What is happening?" But that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how seriously injured he is because that laser shot, bullet wound, whatever, went all the way through his body. Maybe it like missed arteries or something, but you see the exit wound on his backpack. So it went right through him, which
Mhm.
usually isn't like too good.
Yeah,
But it's interesting to see. I'm sure they have like it's Star Wars. They have Bath the Bass. Like they have all sorts of technology. We see Fennec actually gets shot
yeah,
similarly, a
yeah.
little lower, but all the way through. She survives. So who knows? Maybe Hunter next episode will get robotic implants like Fennec. But I did want to point that out. He did get hit hard. Cad
Yeah.
Bane does not mess around.
I did. I was looking for that. Unless I missed it, I didn't see the on the backpack when he turns over.
Oh, okay.
What I see, uh, what could be seen as a bullet wound. There's like a light box on there. That's like a button or
Yes.
something. It's like a
It's
red
a
light.
button.
I could have missed the bullet wound, but I tried to look for it because I was thinking about that. But
Okay.
when I looked, all I saw was like a red light. I didn't see like a smoking wound. And I think at the end, like when
I'm
they're
gonna
on the
have to.
shuttle,
Yeah.
like one of them says he got shot in the chest piece or chest plate or like armor or something. I don't remember the exact line. Um, but it regardless of if it went through or not, we've seen what happens when it even when it just doesn't. That whole episode
Yeah.
with Captain Rex in Clone Wars: The Deserter, he gets shot in the pauldron by commando rifles snipe or commando droid sniper. and he's like out, man. His whole chest is all bruised. He has his arm in a sling. So getting shot like that, even with clone armor, it's not messing around. Like he went down. He was unconscious after
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
regardless of if it went through him or not, um, that's still gonna hurt for a little while. And I hope we see that. Like maybe he's got a sling or something. Like he's only got some of
Yeah.
his armor on, just in a sling. Yeah, Rex didn't even get hit in just the chest piece. While it was a sniper compared to a pistol, he got hit in the pauldron, which is extra, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like padding. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that took him out for like a while.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um,
Uh,
so we will see.
dang.
I
I saw it the
could be
second
wrong.
time.
I could be wrong.
I'm definitely like, as soon as we're done, I'm going
Yeah.
and watch.
I mean
I could
I
also be wrong. I could have just seen it and just confirmed, like, oh yeah, there it is.
I
Because
looked
I remember
I
it was glowing. That's what I saw. It
yeah
was like glowing like orange. I thought
yeah
it was the hole. Okay.
because when I saw I was like, oh, there's the, oh, wait a minute, and because it was like a perfect square
Okay.
and it kind of had like red lights on it,
Maybe
but
that's
it could
it.
have been somewhere else while I was looking at that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'll throw it on as soon as
We'll
we're done.
slow motion watch it back and
Yeah.
just check it out. Um, yeah. But any other details you got here? Any other notes? Anything you just want to talk about?
I just want to say we've been asking for more Empire and more main story for a couple episodes now. If you watch our other in-depths, and we get it. And this is a fantastic episode. They
Yes.
delivered. I really, really enjoyed this episode. I think it's right up there next to episode one.
I
I
might
like all
like
the.
it a little bit more, honestly. But
Oh,
we won't know until we
yes.
watch it all.
But again, like that just shows you, like when we have these huge set piece like episodes, oh, they're just so good. I hope we continue. Like next episode, I hope we're still
Yeah.
right in the thick of it. I could see them going back, have another, I guess, quote unquote filler episodes or maybe another low key episodes. Okay, but honestly, I hope we're just going full head of steam.
Yeah.
Because this episode fantastic. I love everything that happened. The only thing again, it was with tech. We addressed that, but again, that's more of like a niche little like hope.
Something we
But
want to see,
yeah,
not like a
yes,
problem with this one.
yes. But in general, fantastic. Every scene, the way it was shot, and everything, especially just with episode 7 as well. So like 2 back-to-back good episodes has me very jacked for next episode.
Dude, the last 3 have been really good. 6 was more filler than these last 2, but still, I feel like we're gotten
We're
a
heading
good
on.
chunk of
Yeah.
episodes right
Yes.
now, and I hope that keeps up. It seems like we're really ramping up to something now. Also,
Absolutely.
if you watched our last review, you'll know that I literally predicted every single thing that was going to happen
Beat
in the
for
episode.
beat.
Go check
Oh
that
my
out.
goodness. Rewatch that. He
Our
hits
reaction
everything.
to.
Wow.
It's crazy.
This man's got cheat codes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Uh, I did have one small thing I just wanted to bring up. We see a little bit more. I really hope we start to learn more about the Kaminoen's contingency plan, as they're calling it.
Yes.
We know that they need Omega for something. We know that they are trying to stay within the folds of the Empire. But we don't know exactly what that is. We've each said a couple times it could be cloning Omega or using her for some. Well, we know they need her for whatever
Yeah.
their plan is. But I'm thinking it has to do with cloning, since that's literally all they do is just clone people.
Yep.
But I hope we get a look. In this episode we got a little scene of it. We got like 2 scenes, like one at the beginning and then that one little in between after the Empire arrives where they talk about it. We got to get more bounty hunters,
Mhm.
Just more. I hope we slowly get to see what it is that they actually intend to do with Omega. Maybe that'll be part of this episode. Maybe the B plot will be Omega on Kamino by herself, and like having to see what happens to her. That could be really interesting. I want to see. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to bring it up because I was going to ask you about your predictions, but
Okay.
my predictions is exactly what you were saying. Like I said, I want to be in the thick of it. So I think we're going to see Cad Bane delivering Omega to Kamino. I think the Bad Batch will go off. Honestly, I think they're going to go right back to Rex. Like, they're a mess. They're going to be like, yo, Rex, can you help us out?
Please.
So
Sir
yeah,
Rex.
Yeah, so they'll go there with the Empire hot on their trail. But like you said, B story. I'm thinking next episode we're gonna see it. We're gonna see. My thought is it's gonna be a lot like Moff Gideon and Grogu, where they need
Oh,
her for testing, but it will be harmful to her. Like they need her blood or something, or like lots of tests and stuff. So it will be uncomfortable. I don't think she'll die or anything. Some people are saying that. uh, but I definitely think she'll feel at least homesick for the Bad Batch, and at worst, like she'll be like drained, maybe unconscious, like they'll take so much blood she's knocked out for the
yeah,
episode.
yeah. We could
Um,
have a really nice reunion scene when they finally get her back.
yes, yes. I don't think they'll get her back next episode. Maybe
No,
like the next
eventually,
couple.
whenever they do.
Yes,
Yeah,
eventually. But next episode, I think we're definitely gonna see that, and I think Bad Batch. I think they're gonna go right back to Rex, honestly, because they
yeah. I mean,
definitely need help.
yeah,
But
they
I
could.
wanted to get your thoughts on that. If you don't have anything else.
Mhm. I pretty much agree with that. I think they're going to Camino, or she'll be on Camino. I think the Bad Batches, they might like impulsively, rashly. We have to go to Camino right now. We have to get her back.
Just to go get her.
Maybe
Hmm.
they might fail. Hunter's beat up. They don't know what they're doing really. They're down Omega, so their spirits are low. They're thinking on just raw emotion. We need to get her
Yeah.
back now. That was the first thing Wrecker asked when he came up on Hunter. Where's Omega? What happened? So they might all be sort of feeling something. They might act rash. They might just go right to Kamino and just I don't know. Or they
Okay.
if they even know that that's where she's going, they're gonna at least try as soon as they can to like hunt her down, even though Hunter's hurt and they're all kind of like knocked out of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's what I think. Another great episode though, really good. One of my favorites. Like we always say, we're going to once the series is over, we're gonna watch the whole series through, and then we're going to rank the episodes, um, and then will be the where the episodes place. But for me, so far, it's this one and episode one are up there.
Yeah. I
Um,
think no doubt, even with episodes to come, this is definitely going to be an up there episode.
oh yeah, this one and the last one, I think.
Yes.
All right, so this has been our review for Bad Batch season one, episode 8 reunion. I almost forgot what it was called for a second there, but I love that title too because reunion you think is like a happy thing, like oh family
But
reunion, yay, or like
nope.
class of 20, class of 2020 reunion or something.
Yeah.
But no, it was not a happy reunion.
Not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah. Thanks for listening and watching, and we'll see you whenever we post again. So goodbye. That was
Adios,
double
amigos.
salute. You couldn't see it.